Right. So you can see my screen?
Yes, yes.
All right. Thank you very much for the conference organizers to invite me for this excellent event. And I'm speaking from London, and on behalf of MEL Science, which is a company I currently work for. Today I would cover a subject that might be in the heart of many people on virtual reality assisted edutech, or education technology with VR and AR. In particular, I'll give some example of what worked well and what will work in the future. So I'll try to be as positive as I can. And so without further ado, let's go forward to the next slide. Virtual reality education. It's widely regarded as a bit of a revolution since Zuckerberg took over Oculus on behalf of Facebook back in 2015. And we see a lot of people get into this space. And myself, I was in the 3D industry before. I got into virtual reality in 2016, and I picked education to be the area because I just felt there was just so much potential. And a term that is generally used by everybody is the seismic shift. So that's really is a strong word. It's hard for you to find this description for many other things in life and the industry. Why is virtual reality considered a seismic shift for education? Really, there's three unique angles here that give people the excitement of virtual reality. First of all, VR give education a very intensive, immersive experience. As you can see, I mean, you can imagine a lot of people are teachers, and even more people are parents. Your kids and little children and everybody will have certain moment in their life that they're just not in the mood to study, right? They're interested in other things, they're too tired. And you just watch people, as soon as they put a virtual reality headset or an augmented reality headset, you watch their eyes, you watch that spark of interest. You can never take it away from that. So immersive is there very strong. And other than that, there's another factor that's called interaction. When you can interact with a subject you're learning, when you can interact with each other, you can see the interrelationship of different concepts in education. That's really effective. And the immersive interaction gives you the third eye, that is imagination. You learn the basic concept. You can apply it differently, and you truly learn. You can create. So that is probably the unique strength of virtual reality. And so with all this seismic shift, with all this expectation, what happened? It's interesting that from 2016 to 2017, people will say next year is the year for VR education. And then 2017, people say 2018 is the year. And then you just keep on going at. But gradually you see that the kind of like the VR education company around you, they kind of get less and less until last year, Google actually pulled out of the kind of VR education market as well. And I attended a kind of interview by a US magazine to talk specifically about this. So what happened? A lot of people think that perhaps the bubble burst for VR and AR for education. And people even think that the bubble burst for gaming. Now we know that is definitely not true. So what really happened here is that you have what's called the matured market. It goes through a consolidation. Take Chinese market, for example. I led as a sales director for VR School, and then as a director of international business for GrowLib. So these are two leading VR education companies in China for different times. So I led as director for both companies. So I was watching China at one stage has more than 150 VR education companies. But now perhaps less than 15 are active. But the last 16, these 16 are really, really good. Yeah. And why is it good? Because first of all, the quality of hardware has tremendously improved. And I list some of the VR hardware here, and people will see that Oculus Quest is there. It's a beautiful piece of hardware, and it's very reliable, and the user experience is so fantastic that it's hard for anybody to say no. So with the hardware to improve, and also the AR hardware is improving. I mean, I have a HoloLens 2 here. HoloLens 1 was brilliant, but for 3 years, there wasn't much change. But HoloLens 2, if anybody has tried HoloLens 2, you would think that this is it. the future is coming. It's to such an extent that the US Army ordered 100,000 units of this stuff. So nobody can kind of like argue against the fact that the virtual reality or augmented reality is going to change training, change life, change education. And then I have a big picture here that is Apple Glass. And there's huge amount of expectation for that. And as we learned from Apple Watch, Apple mobile phones, the Apple Glass, once it's come out, then that's going to take the thing to the next level. So you then left with one question, contents. So today I will give you 4 examples of content that worked really well for the VR education space. The first company I'll share with you is actually a company called Cospaces. No, it's actually a company called Edtech. Edtech is based in Munich. And the founder of Edtech is this gentleman called Eugene Bailiff. He is an extremely brilliant person. And he's one of the original co-founder of IDE. So his technology is absolutely spot on. Lots of people in VR, you probably heard about Unity, an Unreal Engine, but Edtech, they created their own VR engine, extremely efficient and actually targeted to make education easy. As you can see from the interface, it's really easy. It's really beautiful. It's almost like cartoon-like, but it's got this really interesting and unique style. You just, kids love it, adults love it. You can use this to actually program any VR and AR interactive stories. And you can hold a mobile phone, you can walk into it. It's a fully 6-off environment, supremely efficient. Even the sound they can hear it come from different directions as well. So Cospaces is the name of the product. Check it out. You can take this as the immersive version of Scratch. That's how brilliant it is. So that's the first example. And when I say that this worked well, I mean, not only because it's a beautiful product, but it's also the market actually recognized it. I was the co-founder of an Australian VR education company called SmartStone. Yeah, and one of our biggest order was to sell Cospaces to more than 130 schools in New South Wales states of Australia. And those of you who know Australia, you know that's the biggest state of Australia. And instantly, the first deal, 130 schools, and there are only 2,300 schools in the whole states. And I think we'll get there soon. So that's Cospaces, a fantastic product that gives you the chance to create your own content, do storytelling. And how about the next example? Not sure whether you recognize this wonderful lady in the picture. This is Dr. Jane Goodall. She is the person who actually proved that chimpanzees have intelligence. So she's one of the most notable and the most respectable figure in the world of nature conservation and wildlife conservation. So Jane Goodall endorsed wild immersion. So this is a company which is founded by a couple of French gentlemen, even though it's a British company. It's quite interesting. And they have taken this 360-degree VR camera to almost all the Jane Goodall linked wildlife reserves from around the world. And for the period of 1.5 years, they've collected a lot of amazing footage. This footage are typically about 30 seconds long, but when you put them together, you don't need to say anything. You just apply the simple music. You can teach kids so much about the environment, so much about nature. And it's a really relaxing and a kind of rewarding experience for adults as well. And that itself is a fantastic commercial success as well, because there was a park, children's park, that is sponsored or funded by LV Group in the middle of Paris, called Jardin Acclimatation. And there was a €1 million investment for a VR theme park. And the investment was withdrawn within...
A little bit accelerate because we're running out of time.
Okay, sure. And all the investment was gained within about 6 months. Fantastic experience. And the third example is Roman Reborn. My friend, Professor Bernard Fisher. Bernard Fisher has been a historian of ancient Roman Empire for 20 years. So he recreated the Roman Empire to the most finest level of detail. And you can have this VR walkthrough. You can learn all the famous statues. You can learn all the stories with every building, and you can find all the history, all the event within kind of like a Reborn Rome So this highlights the fact that with virtual reality education, you can be anywhere, anytime, in the past and in the future. Fantastic quality as well. And my last example is, of course, the company I work for, or I lead a part of the business for now, and that's called MEL Science. MEL Science is great because it's really takes the education, it combines the physical science education kit that you can do the experiment, such as this picture. And in the meantime, in order to demonstrate the scientific theory behind all these real examples, you have VR and AR interactive lesson of very high quality, adapted to many countries, to 60 countries so far in the world. And it's really, for different people, for different needs, MEL Science has an answer. So the result is that the product is enjoyed by audience from 6 different countries so far, and the product is now translated into 7 different languages. So VR education works by the combination of real education as well as the best of the VR and AR interactive content. So I hope you enjoy this full example. You can find out more later, but what will work better in the future? I think there are 6 quick aspects here. We're short of time, so I'll speed through. First of all, with the improvement of technology, we can have like a holographic meeting. So the social aspects of learning will be improved tremendously. And I think the second one, which is very important, is the style. The future devices, they have to be fashionable, they have to look good, because our children have so much better fashion sense than us. And when they learn, they have to look good, they have to enjoy learning as well. And finally, the third is the scaling effect, the fact that with 5G, every device can be linked together, and that will totally enrich your learning experience and give you a lot more insight into how the world works. So that's the first 3 aspects. And then the next 3 aspects is going to be really interesting. The first one is integration. So it's extended reality that takes you the combined learning of the real life object together with virtual object with social. So that gives you this integrated learning experience, and you can add artificial intelligence, you can add a lot of voice control, you can add remote leadership in there and guidance there. So that itself is take you to the lifetime learning, but you learn as well, you guide as well. And the curriculum, what I mean is that within about probably about in the next 18 months, you're going to find a VR and AR replacement to all the content within curriculum. So this widened curriculum, this complete coverage of curriculum with VR and AR assisted education will take you to the center point, that is the investment and the reward. So I think, so finally we completed the circle. So you get the return, you have the tremendous amount of curriculum, you enjoy the experience, and you can find more things. You can link everything with it. So that's the future. And who can possibly say no? Any questions, please come back to me, and I hope this is useful for you. Thank you very much.
Yes,